So this is the Dragon Link build that I just finished getting a 13-game win streak on ladder with, and this is largely similar to the build that I got D level max with on the last Duelist Cup with a few minor changes. So if you want more in-depth Dragon Link discussion and replays, go check out the video I made on that build. But yeah, Dragon Link. This deck is actually so underrated right now, mainly because again, Bystials I feel are absolutely insane on the Master Duel ladder. First of all, they're not even bad against Snake Eyes, right? Against Snake Eyes, Bystials, you always hit the IP out of the grave. People aren't going for the synchro plays as much anymore, they're going for more Link builds, so the fact that you just always hit the IP out of the grave of their Bystials means they lose their strongest form of interruption against you. IP is just not a card against this deck, and even if they do go for the synchro plays, you can Bystial hit the Link Revo out of the grave when they try to attach it with Savage Dragon, so you don't have to deal with an Omni Negate there. And yeah, against every other matchup that's not Snake Eyes, there are so many decks that just get destroyed by Bystials on Master Duel. You have Labrynth, you have Tear, Branded, Mathmech. There's Unchained, which for some reason on ladder, Unchained is not very common. I've like barely faced any Unchained since the selection pack, but Unchained is also another deck where that Bystials absolutely destroy. So yeah, anytime you roll, you like just queue in a random match on ranked, you have like an 80% chance to play against a deck that Bystials absolutely just destroy, or against Snake Eyes, which Bystials are still, after Valor, Maxi, and Infirm, Bystials are about as good as any other hand trap, you know, because one hand trap isn't really stopping Snake Eyes, so the Bystial is honestly more impactful than a Nibiru, than just one Nibiru is a lot of time, or like one Ash, for example. And yeah, we don't talk about Super Heavy Samurai. It's like the one matchup where Bystials are really bad against. So you know, against Super Heavy, just win the coin flip forehead. That's a definition of a coin flip matchup. And I guess Cashier as well is kind of a bad matchup for Bystials, but Cashier is not as common, and quite frankly, after the balance, it might get even less common. But yeah, you don't run Bystials just because, you know, they're good hand traps or anything. This is the one deck where Bystials also synergize very well, because these are the best extenders in the deck. Again, in order for this deck to combo now, this isn't really a one-card combo deck anymore unless you draw a Black Metal Dragon. But you need 2 dragon bodies, and Bystials just happen to be the best second dragon body you need to do your combo with, because they're level 6s, which means they have synergy with Dissipator, they have synergy with Atum, which is, and Atum lines are kind of just pretty cracked. And they get you your Lubellion, which Lubellion gets you your random spell traps like Regain and Beast for Disruption and Follow Up. And yeah, these are just really nice for roll compression, since Dragon Link is a deck that struggles with space already, so being able to fit in cards that count as both engine and non-engine, like the Bystials, is a really nice to deal with these space issues. As you can see, we have for traditional hand traps, we have 3 Ash, 3 Maxi, 3 Valor, 2 Gamma, so that's 11 normal hand traps. But then you also have 6 Bystials, and if you count the Bystials as hand traps as well, which I think you should, because Bystials are quite insane in this format, you goes up to 17 hand traps. And 17 hand traps is a lot, even in a 45 card deck. That's like almost equivalent to 15 to 14 hand traps in a 40 card deck, math wise. And the fact that these also count as extenders means it only costs you 6 slots to run 6 hand traps plus 6 extenders. So that's really helps with the math in a deck that has to run so many cards like Dragon Link as is. Also, Effect Veiler, we're running this over Imperm because Effect Veiler is a light, so it gives you Bystial banishes, but also Imperm is kind of awkward in a deck that runs so many Bystials plus Gamma, because it forces you to use Imperm before you use any of these, which sometimes it may not be ideal to Imperm that early. Sometimes you might want to save your Imperm or for later, but you can't do that because as soon as you Bystial or Gamma your opponent, your Imperm's turned off. So Valor is just a card that's live at all times, no matter when you use your other hand traps, unlike Imperm. That's why I chose Valor over that. It hasn't really bit me in the ass that I've chosen Valor over Imperm a lot. But a lot of times it's nicer baiting out Call by the Graves too, because people will try to Call by the Grave the Valor, and then if you have a Bystial, you can actually use the Bystial to dodge the Call by the Grave on the Valor. So then you don't have to deal with a Called by as well on your Black Metal on your turn, or a Called by on your Lubellion during your turn as well. So yeah, Valor's been alright. I haven't missed Imperm over Valor. And yeah, for the, I guess we can go over the ratios here. The 3 Black Metal and 1 front. You have to. Black Metal now is the best starter without the babies anymore. 2 Tracer and 1 Recharger plus 1 Caliber. That's the standard rocket engine. Yeah, you run the Black Meteor Dragon with the Red Ice Darkness Metal as well for the Black Metal Dragon targets. That's also why we run Gamma, because Driver is an engine requirement for Black Meteor, and you just need this extra body. It's just free, right? Dragon needs free extenders now without the babies and stuff. Triple Safer, I explained this many times in all my Dragon Link videos, but Safer now is, honestly, it's the second best starter. There's, outside of Black Metal, you don't really have 1-card starters anymore, but starting Safer is part of all your good 2-card combos. Safer plus any Bystial guarantees you access to Lubellion, because you can just Safer pitch a bad Bystial like Baldrake or Druisworm to get Sarnier, special the Sarnier, and then later on when you link off the Sarnier and the Safer into your Romulus, the Sarnier will send Lubellion, and then because you started with Safer, you already have the Safer engraved, so you can just Safer banish itself, get Lubellion in the hand, and that guarantees you your Lubellion that way. And also, if you start with Lubellion, then Safer can send Lubellion to add Levineer, and that gets you an extra hand rip on top of your combo. And also, it's a very good draw because you can just pitch this for Ravine, and and then you just have a Safer in there for free that you can just use to add back either your Levy or your Lubellion as follow-up. You can even just straight up send Safer, discard Safer for Ravine, and then send one of these two and just add it directly in hand. I've done that before if I don't need Tracer access immediately. And yeah, this maxed out on Bystials because that's the whole reason why I'm playing this deck, is because I think Bystials are good, and therefore if I think Bystials are good, I'm gonna max out on these Bystials. Babs Router, Levy, yeah, these spells are all standard. I was not running Designator at one point, but then I got Max Seed a ton, so I put it in, and then I never drew Designator for the Max Seed anyways, and I ended up pitching Designator for Ravine more often than not. But you know what? It's more outs to Max Seed. It can't really hurt, right? And Branded Beast. I put Branded Beast back in because I was assuming that there's going to be, with Bonfire coming, I've assumed there's going to be a lot more people playing like stun decks, or there's going to be a lot more lab, which there is a lot more lab. And Branded Beast, I've like tapping here. Every time that I've drawn Branded Beast since I put it back in, I've actually it's actually helped me a lot that I hard drew it. So it's not even bad when I hard drew it, and then if I don't draw it, then it's just it's just a free option in the deck. So like I don't know why not, right? I think this is fine. You don't have to run these last 2 cards. If you want to cut deck size down, you can cut these down for 43 and so on. So the extra deck. 13 of these extra deck cards I believe are stable. Savage, Visvader, Attuned lines. Either 2 Bystials, or if you have a Black Meteor Dragon, you special Pisty to the Romulus zone, and then use Romulus Secret Effect to special Black Meteor. That way Black Meteor special summons as a level 6 monster, so that's how you get 2 bites for Attune, and Attune is nice. It gets you your Safer, it gets you Black Metal Dragon if you didn't already have access to it. If you get negated on your Striker Dragon, but you have a bunch of Bystials or Black Metal, you can still summon Tracer out of your deck that way with Attune. Like this card's really nice when it just comes up, and it comes up a fair amount. Pisty, double Striker Dragon, Seal, Romulus, IP, Triple Burst, Unicorn, Access Code, and Borderland Dragon. These are the cards that I would run in most Dragon Link decks, or at least builds like this. And then the 14th one is Delindris. Delindris is it's come up more often since the last time I played it. It's not bad. It just definitely does come up like now enough to warrant an extra deck slot. And what's cool about the Linders is that it also banishes itself when you link it off after you arrive and you link it off the second time. And what's neat about that is a lot of times when you go for the Lynch's line, you only have 2 dragon bodies, so you have something like a Tracer and then maybe like a Lubellion, for example. And if you just have these 2 cards as your engine, you don't really have a way to trigger the regained draw because you only have 1 Bystial, so you can't banish a second time after summoning the Lubellion. But the Linders banishing itself actually just hard triggers the regain for you when you link it off to make a Borderland. So this just is like a free draw right there, and yeah, it's like it's okay. And just be careful. Don't use the Linders Dragon. Do not go for the Linders line against Snake Eyes if they have Ambler Will, because you're gonna pop this with Striker Dragon, right? But Ambler Will triggers when a linked 3 or lower monster is destroyed. So if you go for the Linders line where they have Ambler Will and Striker pop to the Linders, they're just gonna get a free pop after Ambler Will while you're comboing. So you don't want that. Avoid doing that. I learned that the hard way a couple times. But yeah, turn 1 combos, YouTube combos, whatever. This is fine. This comes up. It also lets you set up a Nightmare Unicorns to make access code unicorn plays easier as well. Okay, 15th card I put in Pentestag. So the idea with this card is versus Snake Eyes, when they send their Flamberts to the grave either with IP or Promethean Princess, they're gonna summon back a bunch of their weenies, right? And let's look at the defense of these cards. So you have Poplar with 200 defense, Ash with 100 defense, and Snake Eyes Oak with 200 defense. So they summon these little shits back in defense position. You go Borderland and you stick a Pentestag to the Borderland to give it piercing, and then you just attack, pierce them per game. That's the theory. I never did that once. I don't think this is the real interaction. I think this is more of me trying to troll my opponent and just trying to just high roll and be funny and try to get the YouTube clip, which I failed to get, so that was a fail. And I hardly made this. I think I made this once against Generator, because Generator, they summon a lot of bodies in defense, I guess. But yeah, I was basically playing with a 14 card extra deck this entire time, because this Pentestag was just, it never came up. So this could be anything else. This could be like a Baron or a Chaos Angel, or honestly it should be, yeah, it should be Dark. Like Dark definitely would have come up a lot more than Pentestag. So yeah, at the very least. Yeah, that's my build. As for other engines that I've seen people floating around in Dragon Link, if you follow Trishula and Tempest, his mod, they've been on the Vision Resonator plus Crimson Gaia. So the idea with this is, if you control a Bystial, you can just special summon the Vision Resonator as a free level 2 tuner, and then you can use that to make Excel Stardust Dragon into Baron, or if you have a Lubellion already, you can special this, summon back the Lubellion, and then synchro these 2 into a Baron directly. And then when this goes to the grave, you can search Crimson Gaia, and then Crimson Gaia can add you another Vision Resonator, and then that's a free discard that you can use for Ravine and Chaos Space, which they're also playing. And that's nice and all. The problem I have with this engine is that Vision Resonator itself is a fiend and not a level 2 or lower, or level 4 or lower dragon monster. And that's the thing, because even if you do have the combo with Vision Resonator plus a Bystial, right? If you don't have a level 4 or lower dragon monster, you still can't actually play the game, right? It's like, oh, cool, you made a Baron and all, but you couldn't access your engine actually, because you need to open one of these monsters usually to make a Striker Dragon to go into, and then you need another dragon to go into Romulus. That's how you start your plays. But Vision Resonator itself doesn't get you, it's not a starter, right? It doesn't get you any of your engine going. It just gets you a Baron if you have your Bystials with you. But the Bystials themselves don't start your engine. They're only half of your engine. You still need to see the other half. And this is a deck that sometimes has consistency issues already, because you see this, we're already going at the 45 cards in this build, and there's only so few normal summons in this deck already that you need to open. And then if you fit in this engine, like this 4 or 5 card engine with the Resonators, then you're already go. I've seen them running like 50 plus cards or something, and then that just really just hurts the consistency of the deck, because you're adding cards that aren't starters in your deck, and you're like bloating your deck with these cards, and you're also reducing your chances to draw your outs to maxi, which is, this deck also still loses to maxi. So I don't, obviously I haven't tested this, I don't own these cards, but I probably wouldn't play these in my final Dragon Link builds, just because of the fact that they're only extenders, and honestly they feel a little bit win more. And another engine that people have talked about is so the Snake Eyes. Like, we're not talking Diabellstar or stuff like that. We're talking about running a Snake Eyes, basically just a Snake Eyes deck, a Diabellstar Snake Eyes deck, but then running a bunch of dragons inside it, because you can original symbol spoils for Flamvel Guard, and then Flamvel Guard goes into Striker Dragon, and then Flamber Dragon plus the Striker Dragon goes into Romulus, and then you can do your combo that way. Now, here's the thing, though. If I wanted to play a deck that's used to summon Snake Eyes Ash, Snake Eyes Oak, and Snake Eyes Flamberge, I would just play Snake Eyes. I wouldn't play a Snake Eyes build that just ran a bunch of bricky dragons in it, and do a combo line that's worse into Handtraps. It's weaker into Handtraps, just to end on a dragon monster and say that I'm playing Dragon Link, right? I don't feel like playing boneless Snake Eyes, in my opinion. If I wanted to play dragons, I would actually just play dragons. That's just my opinion. You're free to test that build out. It might be better than, Snake Eyes dragons might be better than like pure Dragon Link. Although it's also, I'm gonna like 100% like tell you that it's just the worst pure Snake Eyes deck in my opinion. But that's why I don't run it. But it's okay. It's an option if you really want to, I don't know, play Borderland Dragon, to make a deck that plays Borderland Dragon, but also wants to be tier 1 or good. I don't think Snake Eyes Dragon Link is tier 1 or anything. I think it's just a bad Snake Eyes deck, but just letting you know that it exists, and if you want to go try it out, go ahead. And now let's get into the gameplay with this build. Alright, we're gonna start off with a combo line that I've never done before. So here, Baldrake plus Black Meteor. You might think, does this hand play? Yes, in fact, this hand is actually just full combo. But also, if we get lucky off the regain draw, it might even be more. So I'm gonna place regain, and Black Meteor Dragon is gonna send the driver, and then we can special Baldrake advantage in the driver. And now you have 2 dragons in the field. With these 2, you can make Romulus, add Ravine, add Tracer, and then you can normal summon the Tracer, because we haven't used our normal summon yet. Well, let's see what we draw off the regain by putting the Tracer back safely. And Safer, this is why I love Safer. So now I can normal summon Safer, and I can send the Baldrake. This will get me a Sarnier, and link off the Safer, get the Boot Sector launch, and then special Sarnier by banishing the Baldrake, and then link the Sarnier off and the Striker Dragon into Romulus. Chainlink 1 Romulus, Chainlink 2 Sarnier, chain block it, even though I want both these effects anyway. Sarnier is going to send Rebellion, add Dragon Ravine, and then Safer can banish itself to add back to Rebellion. So Safer just gives you access to Rebellion right there, and then Rebellion will get you your Magnum, and then you have this engine going too. And I'll sack the Black Meteor Dragon since it's already on the field, and then place Rebellion and get Branded Beast. Now we have both Branded Spell Traps, special Magnamud, banishing the Striker Dragon, activate Dragon Ravine, and I'm going to pitch Valor, and this is where they decide to Ash. I felt a delay the entire time, so I figured it was going to Ash. I was just waiting for when the hell they were going to drop it. Not that it matters, because we have the out to it, because You know, why not make going first in the game even better by cards like Called by the Grave, right? So yeah, dump Absol, get Tracer, activate Boot, special Tracer, and then Tracer. I'm gonna pop the regain because they don't have a Nibiru at this point, bro. They would have hella dropped it on me already, so I don't have to worry about it. I can just pop the regain, and the regain comes back for free because we have the Beast on the field. And here, I'm gonna link off the Recharger into Pisty, but then I'm gonna Synchro Tracer and Magnamud into Dismator. Why? Because we have a banished Striker Dragon. So Striker Dragon can bring it back into this zone, and now we have the perfect zone to go into the trigger Pisty, which will bring back the Baldric, and now we can do the Lindris line. Now Striker pop the Lindris, add back Recharger. Recharger will send itself, special summon back Tracer, and then summon back the Lindris, going to Borderland Dragon, negate the Tracer, bring back the Recharger, going to Borderland Savage Dragon. And here, I could actually go further. There's an argument that you can just link off the Dissipator and the Lubellion into an IP Masquerena, because we will be getting the Magnamud search in the end phase for Bystial. So you wouldn't have a card to discard besides the Bystial, so you would have to preemptively use the Bystial to draw off the regain, so that you would have a card in hand so that you can use it to discard off the unicorns, because that's the only Masquerena target. And I figured, you know, no need to complicate it. I already have Regained Beast, Druid's Worm, Dissipator, Savage Dragon, and Borderland on the field. You know, why do I need like a why do I need a 6th interruption when I already have 5 interruptions plus guaranteed follow-up versus a 5-card hand, right? And our opponent begins with Raidsoft, and I will just pop the Raidsoft with Lubellion. You see, if I had made an IP, I wouldn't have been able to pop that Raidsoft, so, you know, it worked out in the end. But yeah, if you use even one hand trap and you play with a 4-card hand in this board, you're not really gonna break this board and deal with the follow-up on the next turn. Alright, next game. And this hand it's significantly worse than the last hand. Actually, I have 0 plays. I literally cannot play a single card from my hand. So, you know what? It kind of sucks. Our opponent's playing Labrynth, and they're gonna Arias, and I'm gonna, I don't know, I just maxi here. Maybe I could have waited for the big welcome. Doesn't really matter. They have the Altuid anyways. You know, why would a maxi resolve on our side? So, yeah. And here's the thing, though. This matchup is so insane for Dragon Link. You basically have the only way you win is if you sack into a floodgate, basically. Here, Lovely pops the Sarnier. Thank you. I actually wanted that Sarnier pop so I can get the Lubellion Grave, and then they're gonna add back the big welcome, attack me for 29, and then go into my turn, and they're going to hand rip another one, and then they're going to get Lady back, hand rip, get you know, just, summon back the Lady, and then it's gonna send my driver. Man, what very profitable hand rips off the Lovely, man. Just man. Okay. Anyway, we normal summon Black Metal, going to Striker Dragon. That one back row better be insane. So Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, add back Boot Sector, add Red Eyes, and it's Skill Drain. So yeah, that is that's a pretty insane back row. I'm not gonna lie, bro. This is one of the few ways that Labrynth can beat Dragon Link, by having a Skill Drain on the field. So I'm gonna summon Lubellion just to wall up, because this thing's got a pretty thick ass, and they don't really have an out to it right now besides burning their big welcome, which they do. So thank you for adding the Lubellion back to hand, by the way. And they're gonna attack thinking it's game, but no, I got more Bystials where that's coming from. So goodbye, Arias. And now you don't have a convincing out. So now I have to literally. The goal is to sit on Lubellion until, we drew into an out, actually. We drew into Branded Beast. This is why I don't cut Branded Beast, bro. It always comes up clutch. So we add Druid's Worm, Lubellion sacks Druid's Worm, brings itself back. We got 3k defense, and then sends the Lovely Lady, and now we have set Branded Beast, and we have an out skill drain. So next turn we can play the game, assuming we draw any kind of starter. And our opponent does the most insane crackhead play I've ever seen. Normal summon Effect Veiler, Arias pitch itself special Coup Clock from hand. I mean, goddamn. All that for a Chaos Angel. They were desperate to out this Rebellion. They were like, I cannot deal with a Defense Edition Blue Eyes. So anyway, we're gonna pop that Chaos Angel. So we just most profitable branded beast I've literally ever seen. We literally popped 3 of their cards because they committed 3 cards into a branded beast. So we draw into a quick launch. That's good enough. That's good enough. We can special Rocket Tracer, special Absol Router, sack Absol Router because level 6 or higher dragon, go into Lubellion, and Absol Router will trigger, and then because I control a Bystial now, I can use Branded Beast, pop the Tracer, get Lubellion, and then get the regain. This is actually a misplay. So if I shouldn't have added Tracer, or I could have used Tracer, either use Tracer's effect right now, or I could have added Recharger and then make Striker Dragon, and then Striker Dragon pop itself, bring back Red Eyes, Horizon, and just attack for game. I was just really scared of this backup for whatever reason, even though I don't know what single backup they could have had that's not already skill drain that would have affected me, so I should have just gone for game. Instead I made the conservative play and just attack twice, which this is still good enough. You know, Labrynth on 1 card cannot deal with Bystial control anyways. So here goes Romulus. Romulus will add Ravine, and I'm gonna use a Ravine to pitch the boot sector to send Seyfert. Seyfert's gonna add me back my Lubellion, and now I get another Lubellion Surge, just plain Bystial control. Seyfert, draw another card. Man, just what I needed, So I'm gonna special Lubellion, banish the Coup Clock. That was a misclick. I'm supposed to banish the lovely Labrynth, but I accidentally clicked on the Coup Clock. Whoops, my bad. Won't really matter because we have Seals, Beast, plus Regain, plus a Druid's Worm now. Literally, they cannot, like, Labrynth the sports of Labrynth cannot. So they're gonna Ariana, which is gonna bring back my Magnamut, and that's gonna trigger their Arius. Psych, I have a Bystial in hand, so that Arius is gone. No Chaos Angel for you. And you can add the big welcome to hand. I don't really care, I'm just gonna pop it with Branded Beast anyways. And now we get another Magnamut Search, so Magnamut is gonna add us another Bystial in the end phase. Their entire graveyard is gone, and I'm gonna get a draw off Regain. So, you know what? We'll just call that not going for game last turn. We'll just call this extended BM by just throwing a bunch of Bystials at Labrynth after they tried to floodgate me. You know, I had a few different replays with Snake Eyes, but you know what? I'm gonna show this one because this one is probably the most unique match against Snake Eyes. You'll see. So, what I mean by this? Beginning of Diabellstar, set the trap. Set the trap. A normal summon popular thinking. Add tempo. Activate tempos. Scale Oak. Activate Sinful Spoils. Oh, I see. You hard open Sinful Spoils and Poplar. Okay, so where's this going? Snake Eyes Ash. Ash send itself and Poplar. No linker rebuild. Straight into Flamberge. Okay. Set Oak back to scale. Going to IP Masquerena. And then Flameburge effect, get these 2 back. I feel like you could have done more there, but you know what? This is still, you still get to end on the full line, so well, that's what you thought. But Flamberge, this IP, again, IP is never a real card versus this deck because you just Bystial that shit right out of the grave. And now they're going to summon back the Oak and trigger the Oak. Interesting. And then these 2 go into Sunlight Wolf and then go into Linkuriboh now, so that the Sunlight Wolf adds back the Ash to hand, which I don't really care. You can have the follow up. I don't really care. Go into Heat Soul, draw a card, and then we're gonna go into Ambler. Not keep the Heat Soul on the field. Interesting. Go into Zealantis. Okay. You're gonna trigger Zealantis and summon everything back. And trigger Promethean Princess. Popping my Bystials to get the Baldrake off the field. And this is your end board. Promethean Princess on the field. Damn, that, you see, Bystials are amazing versus Master Duel Snake Eyes players because it causes them to do shit like this, like turn off their own Nibiru and turn off their own Promethean Princess off of one Bystial. Insane hand. What other hand trap gets you this much value versus Snake Eyes? So, anyway, we're gonna normal summon Black Widow and get Maxi. So it almost doesn't matter because Maxi is a card in this game, and Maxi alone can win you games in a deck with this much non-engine. So yeah, we're gonna chain the Baldray to get them one less draw. I'm not too scared because I just have to kill them and put enough attack on field because I don't have to worry about the Nibiru, and then Borderland shuts down those Zealantis pop in the battle phase, so that doesn't really matter. You just have to be wary of Amblerwill's effect. So we're just going full combo line, trying to bait out their trap card because that's the only known negate that they have, and get Black Meteor, add Ravine. I'm going to pitch Seyfried, and then that's gonna fiend out the Omni Negate, which is fine. I didn't need that anyways. Joke's on you, I got the Tracer in hand already, so pop Tracer, and then get Recharger, Dissipator out, Dissipator bring back Striker Dragon, go into Pisty, and then Pisty will bring back Seyfried. Now, be careful, do not use Striker Dragon's effect when they have a... as I mentioned, don't use Striker Dragon's effect when they have Swarmship, because Swarmship triggers if a link through a lower monster is destroyed. So if you go for the Dill line and then use Striker Dragon to pop the Dill, they get a free pop off the Ambler Whale. Don't do that. I just link these off to the Triple Burst, so I give my Savage Dragon more attack. Special the Black Meteor Dragon, sending the Driver in hand, going to Borderland. Borderland will negate the Zealantis, bring back the Tracer, going to Savage Dragon, and they're gonna Veiler the Savage Dragon, but because we Bystial their monsters, we have negate up for Dissipator, so we can just negate the Veiler, and then, you know, get the Savage Dragon attached, enter battle phase, attack both of these, and that's gonna trigger their Ambler in the grave, but we have a Savage negate up, so now we can negate the Savage as well. We thank you for not letting me worry about Nibiru, by the way, while you have the fucking princess on the field the entire time. And yeah, that's wow, I've never gotten that much value out of a single Bystial in my entire life. Not against Tier, not against Branded, but bro, so that's definitely a contender for a replay for the Hall of Shame right there. Alright, so check out this game. Going first, and its hands. I mean, it's pretty great. If we don't get max speed, there's literally nothing our opponent can do. So we're gonna Black Metal Dragon, Striker Dragon. You know, same old. Add Boot, add Red Eyes, special Red Eyes, and our opponent goes Coup Clock, Furniture. Set Big Welcome. Revive Coup Clock, Special Lady. So, keep in mind, our opponent opened Coup Clock, Furniture, plus Lady. And guess what? It ain't gonna do shit, okay? Sarnier, chain to the welcomes to chain block the Lady, get rid of that Furniture. So yeah, summon your your lovely Lady. Pop my Red Eyes, see if I care. Bro, I'm gonna special Baldrake, banish your Ariana. Thank you for the free Bystial Father, by the way. Now we go into Atum. And Atum is gonna bring out Seyfried. And we're gonna link, well first Sarnier is gonna send Lubelia. I'm gonna link off the Seyfried and the Atum into Romulus. And here Romulus is gonna add us Ravine. I don't actually need this Ravine, because I already have a quick launch. This is more, I'm probably gonna end up popping this with the Striker Dragon anyways. And then Seyfried is going to add back the Lubellion. The Seyfried that we got from Atum was now gonna add back to Lubellion that we dumped off the Sarnier that we detached off of the Atum. And now Lubellion's going to add our third Bystial, Magnamud. And first we're going to special Levineer, banishing the light attribute Atum, by the way. Very important, because now you get the pop 2 cards. And here comes back the Lubellion. And, oh, what happened to your... What happened to your hand, good sir? What happened to your hand? And by the way, your lovely lady, that's gonna get gone too by this Magnamud. So thank you for opening the best 3-card combo in your deck for turn 0. Anyways, have a nice day. Alright, so this hand is pretty nice. Safer Lubellion and Ravine. We're gonna normal summon Safer, going to Striker Dragon. Just gonna add a Boot Sector, and I'm gonna use Lubellion, add Magnamut, Magnamut, banish, Safer, activate Magnamut, Lubellion, send Magnamut, place Regain, go into Romulus, I already have a Dragon Ravine in hand, but I just use Romulus. I'm gonna link this off anyways. I'm gonna send Valor to send Absolute Router, get a Tracer, activate Boot, activate Tracer pop the Boot, and this is the Dill line because we only have access to two bodies with this line. So we're going to use Dill to bring back the Magnamut, and then we're gonna use Pidgey to bring back the Magnamut, link off the Dill, Striker, bring back Dill, add back Recharger, send, add special Tracer, get back to Lindris, and then link these off into Borland. And here's where I talked about the Lindris Dragon gets banished, so we put the Lindris back off of the Regain, so we get the free draw anyways, even though we only had access to one Bystial, so that's nice. A free draw is a free draw. And then going to Savage Dragon, then Savage adds Reclipse Romulus, then we get the Cruise from her hand. So not bad. Two Dragon Bodies uninterrupted gets you this, and then one had to be Bystial, so we gotta draw off the Regain, and we have Regain to bring back the Magnamut for follow-up, and our opponent goes Super Poly. Pitch Keldo. Normally, this is like, literally, this is a hard counter to Dragons, right? Super Poly pitch a Shuffler. But, okay, so they're gonna make Aurora, and I'm gonna trigger Regain. They're gonna target Magnum, they're gonna trigger Keldo, and because we drew off the Regain, we drew a Psyframe Gear Gamma off the Regain, and now they clear our field with the Super Poly. Now the Gamma is alive, so we can Gamma their Keldo. So no, you are not shuffling back my Magnum. I'm getting back my Magnum, and I'm getting another Bystial Surge. And because they're on Super Poly, they're on tier. So this is already an insane matchup, right? We already have a Bystial in hand plus an Ash, and I actually just Ash this Pressure Planet Rates off because, look, if you want to Ash bait my Ash while you already have a normal summon in hand, like, be my guest, bro. You got it. I figured if they have any normal summon anyway to mill, they would have done that first, because then they could have a chance to build a tier cache, you know, instead of, if they didn't really have a play, why would you, they had a way to mill, why would you take a good mill out of your deck, right? So didn't getting Pressure Planet Rates off to try to add a tier cache implies that they don't really have anything in their hand to begin with. And even if they did, you know, we do have a Bystial to check a tier anyways, and you know, it turns out their other card in hand was another Super Poly, so we got Super Poly twice as Dragon Link. And you know, guess what, it ain't gonna matter, because end phase, I regained, put back the driver, because I actually need the driver for my black meter dragon later, so you know, rare instances. And then this is a misplay. I don't know, I thought maybe that it was my turn already. I forgot that this was still the end phase. Don't summon Druids from the end phase. I don't know why I did this. This should have been summoned on my turn. Yeah, my bad. We add the Black Dragon. It doesn't end up mattering, because, you know, Bystials versus tier, lol. Thank you. To draw the driver that I literally just put back last turn. Thank you very much. These are some amazing draws, you know, 1-for-1 Black Metal and a driver. But yeah, anyways, they already couldn't deal with the Lubellion, so they could have used Dragos Apilia to reduce my Bruisefrom's level so that I couldn't bring back the Lubellion, but I could still link it off anyways, and then, you know, get Black Metal and kill them from there. They literally got nothing at that point. Alright, so this game, we have a pretty nice hand. This is an all gas hand. We're gonna use Quick Launch to bait out the Maxi. I have never once successfully hand gammed my opponent off of a Quick Launch in my entire life. That's just not a real play. Even when they did have Maxi, they ended up having Ash 2 for my Gamma, so it didn't even matter. So yeah, that's just not a real play in this deck for me. But yeah, we're gonna do Striker Dragon, add Boot, normal Safert, send Gruisworm, add Sarnier, special Sarnier by banishing the Tracer, and then link these two off into Romulus, and then you know the same. We'll add, send Lubellion, add Ravine, and then I felt a delay. Okay, this is a Master Duel moment. Okay, real life, I wouldn't have gone for this, but Master Duel, I felt a delay on the 5th summon, so we immediately go into Spheres. You know, fuck that. Fuck your Nibiru, and then Safer will bring back the Lubellion, and then activate Lubellion, add Magnamut, and then Magnamut, banish the Sarnier, and trigger Magnamut, summon back Lubellion, and at this point, because we have a Seals up, at any point, if they want to Nibiru us at any point at all during this combo, it doesn't matter, because we already have a B-Telly from deck, the Seals, at any point. And then, you know, they don't Nibiru here, which is all just even worse than me. Now we get the regain up, so now we get 2 bodies plus Nibiru token if they Nibiru us. So literally, it will not matter anymore. And here I'm just comboing off, you know, add Tracer, boot, summon Tracer, and they Nibiru here. Which, you know, seems nice. You know, I've used Boot Sector, I used the Tracer in hand, but, you know, unbeknownst to them, this Nibiru ain't gonna do shit, bro. Like, it does not do anything. I get Seals, I get Regain. Regain can bring back the Gruus Worm, in fact, because we started with Gruus Worm, and that's, like, even better. Now then we can get rid of Nibiru as well. And Seals will bring back Black Metal, link these two off into IP Masquerena. This will get Red Eyes, and then I have a Rocket Reach Caliber in hand as well, so that's a free special summon that I didn't commit off the boot. And now we go into Dissipator. Gruus Worm is going to send the Nibiru token, Dissipator, bring back Sarnier, that I'm literally just going to banish a special Red Eyes, get a draw into Ash, and then bring back Tracer. Tracer, pop boot, get Recharger, and now we have full combo. We're gonna end on Boral and Savage Dissipator regained Ash through a Nibiru. A very nice Nibiru you got there. Yeah. So yeah, D-Link is a deck that still puts up pretty formidable board turn 1 and plays through Handtraps honestly pretty decently well. And it's helped by the fact that Bystials are really good, so it runs a very high non-engine count or hand trap count to boot to help it out. And going into the format after new announced selection packs and the new ban list, I don't see Bystials getting like that much better or worse, to be honest. Like, yeah, we'll get Rescue Ace, so Bystials might be a little worse against that matchup, but there's also Illusions and Ultra-Guys. I don't know if people are playing Ultra-Guys, but Bystials are pretty good against Illusions, and then all the other Slabbers decks are still going to be in play, and Bystials are, again, always good against those. But yeah, if you want to see even more gameplay of this deck, again, I've made a video of this similar build for my Duelist Cup Climb as well, so go check those videos out. Those videos are still up to date because, frankly, the ban list didn't really change anything.